If you want to make $1 million, which one of these is going to get you there fastest? Is it going to be getting a job, saving money, investing in index funds, buying a rental property, or flipping a house? None of the above. Instead, you're going to take one of the 8 lessons from these 8 millionaires that you're going to learn today to build your 7-figure income and the life of your dreams. All right, lesson number 1 comes from my man, my friend, Grant Cardone. Listen, Grant Cardone is a beast when it comes to selling. That's the lesson that we want to pass on to you today, that when you are trying to get to 7 figures for the first time, you must spend 80% of your time selling. My mentor, Mark Ford, wrote this book, Ready, Fire, Aim. Now, it's really confusing. He wrote the book under the name Michael Masterson. But in Ready, Fire, Aim, he says when you're going from 0 to $1 million, 80% of your time must be spent selling. Now, look at a little audit of your day. What are you doing? Well, you might be creating social media, you might be editing your own videos, you might be doing some customer service, you might be doing some research. Listen, none of those things is getting oxygen into your business. The oxygen in business is sales. It's the money, it's the cash to keep going, just like our bodies need oxygen. So take it from Grant Cardone, take it from Craig Ballantyne, you must spend your time selling. Now, once you've done the selling, it's time to move into the automating and replicating. There's nobody better at this than Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson built ClickFunnels for people like you and me to go and replicate our selling. So I've known Russell for a long time, and he used the Perfect Day formula, my program, to help him build a whole bunch of funnels in his business to build up ClickFunnels so that now it's around the world. So what Russell would do is figure out how can you automate your sales, because you can't go and sell to every single person who comes to your website. No, you must have the systems in place. So once you've got the selling in place, then you get the automating. And when you build that up, you're selling 24/7. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like waking up to more money in your bank account. This brings me to my 3rd favorite point, delegation. As you grow your income, as you grow your business, you can't give in to these 5 words, which will kill you. These 5 words will kill you. I will do it myself. First of all, those 5 words will lead to burnout. And second, they'll leave you spinning your wheels when it comes to making money. So one of my top clients is a guy named Frank Den Blanken. He's a coaching client of mine since 2018. He lives in Holland. He came to one of my events in Germany. And at the time, he was doing it all himself, working 12 to 15 hours a day in order to make 100K. Now, in order to go to 250K, what's he going to do? Work 30 hours a day? No, of course not. So what he decided to do was start the delegation process. He made all these screen capture videos of here's exactly what to do to build our websites the way that I want them. Here's exactly how we do our sales. Here's exactly how we do our customer service. And he started delegating that and bringing on team members, and that set him free. Same as back when I built my first multi-million-dollar business, Turbulence Training, back in the day. Now, listen, I couldn't do everything. I didn't know how to build a website, but I needed it. I could write the sales copy and we put it on there, but I delegated the building of the website to my webmaster, and it allowed me to scale the business fast. So delegation is key. After all, Elon Musk isn't out there building the Teslas, and he's not flying the rockets, but he is becoming the richest man in the world through delegation. Next up is that you have to actually stop doing things. We've done the delegation, we've done the automation, now it's time to do the elimination. And I want you to write this down. This phrase will really, really get you thinking all day long when you find yourself doing stuff that doesn't serve the business. And the phrase goes like this: be the Oprah of your business. Think about Oprah. Do you think Oprah goes around and, she sets up the lights, or she orders the catering, or she makes sure that there's somebody there to pick up her guest at the airport? Of course not. She eliminates those from her schedule. She also eliminates being on every single podcast that ever asks her. She eliminates answering every single email that comes to her and every single direct message. She can't do it all, right? Oprah doesn't wake up in the morning and go, I will do it myself. No way, no way. If Oprah wants to build a multi-billion-dollar brand, she realizes she must say no. So get really strong at saying no, and that message of elimination will save you so much stress and so much time and open up your schedule for selling. Oh, the next one is one of my favorites. And my friend Bedros Keuilian, who's been a coaching client of mine, a business partner of mine, we run the Empire podcast together. Bedros and I have a phrase, and it is making money with friends. You see, we've been in the industry together, running our own mastermind since over 10 years ago. And we brought a lot of people together. We've introduced a whole bunch of people together, and they've made a lot of money together through the power of networking. I absolutely positively love networking. It's what will make you a lot of money with very little effort and the most fun factor. And isn't that the best part of business, when you can make money with friends and have fun doing it? I'll tell you what, you might not know this, but Jeff Bezos also made money with friends with Amazon. You see, Bezos was working on Wall Street. He got a great idea. He went to a venture capital company. They gave him the money and they gave him the ideas. But he knew those people and they gave him a shot. So the networking is key. Without that, who knows? He might just be another person with a great idea that never did anything. And so when you open up the power of your networking, it makes everything in life easier. The next one's going to challenge you. I want you to stop working and start thinking. Okay? Start thinking. Instead of being hunched over your desk all day, working in the business, you must step back, as Michael Gerber says, and work on the business. What's working on the business means? It means thinking about it. There's a guy named Richard Koch who wrote a book called The 80-20 Principle. And in that book, he says 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. It's really what I call the lazy man's millionaire manifesto. I'm going to spend more time just, thinking, going for walks, thinking about my business problems. Richard Koch actually sits beside his goldfish pond and comes up with his multi-million-dollar ideas. And you see, that's actually what separates most great entrepreneurs from the people who just hustle and grind and pulverize themselves into a pulp by working 12, 16 hours a day. I know, I was once there. I worked way too much when I was 29 years old, and I ended up having 2 anxiety attacks at the age of 30 that sent me to the emergency room twice because I wasn't thinking. I was working in the business, not on the business. So take that piece of advice and it'll change your life. Our 7th lesson is the one where I'm weakest, okay? Damaging a mission. I suck at this, straight up, and it's asking for help. You see, my ego is so big, sometimes it's hard for me to walk into a room. I can't get my head in through the door because my giant ego stops me. And when you have a giant ego, it also means that you're never the dumbest person in the room, and you want to be the dumbest person in the room. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room who has all the ideas. No, instead, you want to set your ego aside so you can get in the room where you're the dumbest person in the room and get all these great ideas from people through the networking and what I mentioned before. And then also hiring great people so that you will then get great ideas from them. When Steve Jobs was around, and I don't care if you like him or not, Steve Jobs had a great quote, and he said, "We don't hire great people to tell them what to do. We hire great people so they tell us what to do." And that is brilliance, okay? When you're able to ask and receive, that is when you will go to the next level. I have a coaching client, an absolutely amazing alpha female business leader. Her name is Shanda Sumpter. And she has grown an 8-figure business working between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And one of her greatest gifts is asking for help and receiving information. And when she receives information, she goes and does something with it. And that's why she has grown an empire. There's a really great quote from a guy who's maybe not the greatest guy in the world, Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey says you got to send the elevator back down. What the heck does that mean? What it means is be a mentor. And Brian Tracy is a legend in the personal development and money-making space. And Brian Tracy is also one of the greatest mentors in the space. And I know as I've continued on that path of being a mentor, coaching entrepreneurs, over 250 entrepreneurs to build a 7-figure business, and I hope that you're 251, I've learned that the teacher actually learns more than the student. So when you mentor somebody in your industry, whether you're a gym owner or you're in the fashion industry or whether you're in real estate or whether you're selling supplements or whether you're in manufacturing or whatever it is, when you start to mentor other people, as most millionaires do, like Grant Cardone has mentored me, He probably learns as much mentoring me as I learn from him. And then when I mentor others, I learn as much. I'm learning as much about this right now, mentoring you through this video. So send the elevator back down. It's a great idea, maybe not from a great person, but a great idea that's going to help you continue to grow personally and professionally and financially. So those are the 8 lessons from 8 millionaires that are totally contrarian, that you're not going to hear at college, you're not going to hear from a guidance counselor, you probably won't hear from your awesome parents, as loving as they are. You're not going to hear from your friends, you're not going to hear from magazines, you're not even going to hear in most books. You're only going to hear right here. If you want to work with me in growing your business, then go to craigballantyne.com/apply. Fill out the little form, send me a message, and we'll see if it's a good fit to work together. And next, what I want you to do is watch another video here and get the millionaire mentoring you need.